So hello everyone, let's talk about our next question. Okay, our next question: the following drain is placed after the mastectomy. Identify the type of drain shown in this image. Okay, so you can easily able to see this image, right? Now the options are open, closed, semi-closed, and semi-open. Okay. Now the name of this drain is basically the Romovac drain. Romovac drain. So this Romovac drain is basically an closed suction type of drain, right? And this is one miniature version of the Romovac drain is there, that is known as the mini-vac. Mini-vac. So it basically possessed of accordion-like reservoir, right? So this is your accordion-like reservoir, which basically work on the negative pressure principle, which eventually help us to collect the secretion from the surgical site infection inside the reservoir by the action of the negative pressure. Okay, so it is most commonly used after the mastectomy. Now this mini vac eventually used after the thyroid surgery or the parotid surgery. Okay, now the important thing is that it basically help us to accumulate the fluid from the surgical site infection. Also, we can measure that accumulated fluid as well. Okay, it could be a blood, it could be lymphatic fluid, hence eventually reducing the risk of infection. Okay, now apart from that, we have the open drain, which basically allows the collection from the surgical site to exit freely. Okay, but here in case of closed type of drain, it basically collected inside a reservoir, which is not present in case of open drain. Now we have the semi-open and the semi-closed drain as well, which is not eventually used nowadays. Okay. Okay. Now another point what I would like to inform is that so this drain that has been basically this Romovac drain. So this is a reservoir and this one is the catheter. So this catheter has been placed inside the surgical site with a metallic needle is there, right? So with the help of the metallic needle, you have to introduce that catheter inside the surgical site. Then you can connect it with the mini vac or the Romovac reservoir. Okay, so now your next question would be, what is the drain, right? So your drain is basically a channel that has been created which allows collection to be collected freely, or sometimes it is come out from the main wound, right? It basically coming out from the main wound and to be collected somewhere in the reservoir, or it is supposed to be drained freely outside. Okay. So the type of drain, let's try to discuss the most common type of drain we can see. So first is your corrugated rubber drain. So the corrugated rubber drain is basically most easily available, cheaper option that is available. Okay, it basically act upon the action of capillary action and the gravity. So while introducing this corrugated rubber drain, we have to keep that in mind. We have to place this CRS drain or the corrugated rubber drain in a such a way that it allows the gravity mediated drainage of the inside fluid, right? Now obviously technically easier to apply as well as the cheaper, but one problem that has been associated with the CRS, that is your corrugated rubber drain is basically a open type of drain, right? So here the collection from the inside basically come out freely, and that will eventually associated with a soakage of the wound, and that associated with a significant discomfort to the patient, and it needs to be changed regularly. So the dressing needs to be changed regularly in that patient. Then we have the tube drain, right? Tube drain. So in the tube drain, we have the Jackson pad drain, which also act upon the negative pressure principle. We have the Penrose drain, also Malecot catheter also can be used as a drain, right? Also used as a drain. Now you have the multiple perforated tubes. So that multiple perforated tubes also can be used as a drain. Okay. So these are the closed suction tube drains are also available, like the Romovac, which I have already mentioned. Apart from that, we have the glove drain and the Wick drain. Now, the importance regarding the weak drain is that it's simply a gauge that has been used as a drain, which allow us to drain the collection inside a abscess cavity or allow us to drain the discharge or the pus. Okay, so this is what your weak drain is. Then we have the tube drain. So regarding the tube drain, we have to understand the advantage. So your advantage of the tube drain, number one, you can allow it basically allow us to quantify the fluid inside, like the bile, pus. It basically allow us to quantify the or to get the estimation of the fluid. Now it can be kept for the longer duration. Why? Because in case of open drain, there is association of the skin excoriation, multiple times change of the dressing is basically needed. It basically associated with a much more discomfort. So that's why we need to remove that drain as early as possible. But here in case of tube drain, we can put it for the longer time because the excoriation will not occur in that case and the patient remain comfortable with the drain in situ. And the next important point is that infection rate. Okay, as the whole system is basically enclosed in case of tube drain, the infection rate is pretty much small in that case. So, and removal of the drain is also easier in that case. Another important point is that we can inject the dye from that tube, and that intra a cavitary lesion can be seen under the C-arm in that case. So it can be used as a diagnostic purpose as well, right? Now, this is your sump drain. Okay, this is the sump drain. Now, the function of the sump drain is basically there is a parallel air vent, which eventually prevent soft tissue being blocked at the tip of the drain or it being sucked at the tip of the drain from the negative pressure which has been applied. So this is the basic idea of the sump drain. So that's why the advantage we got from here, number one, it basically resists the collapse of the drain. Also, it resists the blockage of the drain. These are the two important advantage using the sump drain. Basically, it eventually used to collect the irritant material like the pancreatic collection or sometimes the small intestinal collection to drain the intercutaneous fistula, pancreatic fistula. It is basically used. Okay, or sometimes there is a high small bowel fistulas has been noted, and in that case we can easily use the sump drain in that case. Also, the proximal stump of the tracheoesophageal fistula with a esophageal atresia to prevent aspiration in that case. So, the simple classification of the drain system, obviously we have the open drain. Open drain example are the corrugated drain or the Penrose drain is there. It's a basically tube drain, but it is open drain. Apart from that, we have the it basically associated with the higher infection rate. But in case of closed drain, it is not seen. Now, in case of closed drain, we can divide it into two. Like one is the closed siphon drain, another is the closed suction drain. Right? Your closed siphon drain, they basically here the drains are basically connected to a sterile bag, but with or without any valve is there. Sometimes there is a presence of valve, sometimes there is a no valve, and infection rate is much reduced. In case of a suction drain, there is a application of -100 to -500 millimeter Hg of pressure has been applied to create the vacuum, which eventually the working principle for the closed suction drain. Then we have the sump drain, some suction drain. Here there is a availability of the parallel air vent, which prevents the adjacent soft tissue being sucked into the lumen of the drain, right? Also, you're under a water seal, we can also use the same. Now, the indication of the drain. So, number one, to drain the abscess cavity. Sometimes in a bleeding surgical scenario, like the trauma, perioperative bleeding patient, we can usually like to put the drain inside because it will eventually help us to monitor the intra-abdominal scenario, how much blood is being collected in the reservoir, and that eventually help us to decide how much blood loss is there and what are the necessary intervention is needed to be taken. Now, Apart from that, in case of hemothorax, pneumothorax, pyothorax, we can also use that. In a patient with acute abdomen, like the peritonitis, hemoperitoneum, here we can also use the drain. Major abdominal surgeries like the pancreatitis or the Whipple's, also your biliary tree or the hepatobiliary operations or operation involving the removal of the stomach, operation done in a pelvic surgeries, there also we can put the drain. In case of thyroid surgery, in case of parathyroid surgery, apart from the Whipple's gastrectomy or the hepatobiliary surgery, we can also put some drain in here. And obviously, in case of mastectomy, where the chances of the seroma collection is much higher, here also we can put the suction drain on the Romovac drain here. Okay. Now, let's try to understand what are the problems with the drain. So here the problems with the drain is the infection. Okay, like in case of open drain, initially we are very much used to with the open type of drain, but here the rate of infection is pretty much higher. So that's why we have to move towards the closed type of drain. So your infection can occur through the drain. This is the number one thing. Number two is the displacement. Okay, so it's a very important problem. Like sometimes the undergraduate PGs are unable to fix the drain properly with the skin, and that eventually leads to the displacement. Okay, so this is another important problem, and you have to understand sometimes the tube of the drain eventually blocked. Okay, so as a result of that, there is a no collection that is basically coming out inside the reservoir, and also they are associated with the false information in that case. So these are the problems we might gonna see in case of drain, and it may also interfere with the healing process inside. From this question, we can easily able to answer that it is a Romovac. It is a Romovac, and this Romovac is closed suction type of drain. That means your option B is going to be the answer, right?